In 2018, this car wasn't just a vehicle. It was a blockbuster tech product that promised to make Tesla look old-fashioned. Its 48-inch screen captivated the world, drawing billions from investors and thousands of eager reservations. And then, silence. The factories never roared. The screens never lit up on the road. This is the story of Byton, the Tesla killer that never killed anything but its own future. And it all started with a screen so big, it blinded them to reality. The story begins not in a garage, but in a boardroom. Carson Breitfeld, the engineer behind the BMW i8, had a vision, a car as a smart lounge, where the dashboard was a shared experience. The solution was deceptively simple: dominate the cabin with a single, breathtaking screen. It was a showstopper. At the 2018 CES in Las Vegas, they achieved what most car makers dream of. Their prototype stole the entire show. This wasn't just attention. It was proof they could redefine the cockpit. Three things made Byton the darling of the tech and auto worlds. First, globally staged hype cycles at CES and Auto Shanghai, creating relentless media buzz. Second, the allure of Chinese manufacturing magic, promising Silicon Valley software with Shenzhen speed and cost. Third, and most important, the digital ecosystem hook. They weren't selling transportation, they were selling a moving living room for your digital life. By 2019, they had over 60,000 reservations without a production car. The hype was the product. At their peak in early 2020, Byton was a $5+ billion unicorn. They had a pristine factory in Nanjing, a Silicon Valley R&D center, and a roadmap for 3 models. Daniel Kirchert proclaimed they were building the next generation smart device. But here's what nobody in the keynote audiences saw: the very thing that made them special, being a tech company that made a car, was their fatal flaw. They mastered the demo, but forgot the drivetrain. Beneath the cinematic promos, the business was bleeding. They were burning over $500,000 a day. Their ramp-up was a perpetual delay, pushing production back quarter after quarter. When pressed on their path to profitability, the focus remained on the screen's user experience and investor partnerships. The core math of auto manufacturing, economies of scale, supply chain mastery, and cost per unit, was ignored. They were building a spectacular app on wheels, not a viable car. Instead of ruthlessly focusing on getting ONE car to market, they doubled down on vision. They poured resources into a sedan concept and a minivan while the SUV wasn't finished. They built a lavish global empire of offices while their supply chain was in tatters. Meanwhile, NIO and XPeng were in the trenches, weathering near bankruptcy to actually build, deliver, and service real cars. The market started valuing survival over spectacle, but Byton was too busy giving virtual tours of their empty factory. In April 2020, the first domino fell. COVID-19 lockdowns froze their funding lifeline. Then, the brutal reality check: their savior, manufacturing giant Foxconn, walked away after seeing the books. Then total paralysis, unpaid salaries, mass layoffs, radio silence. What took 4 years and $2.4 billion to hype up evaporated in less than a year. The reservation list, the screens, the dreams, all just digital ghosts. Today, Byton is a patent portfolio and a cautionary tale. Its physical assets were absorbed by state-owned FAW. The founders have moved on. The once buzzing headquarters are quiet. The brand's legacy is a masterclass in how vision without execution is a hallucination. But the real impact was the talent and capital diverted, a warning to an entire industry that you cannot software update your way out of fundamental physics. Lesson 1. A car is not a smartphone. The barriers to entry are not software, but steel, safety, and supply chains. Lesson 2. Hype is a loan, not a gift. The market will eventually demand repayment with real products. Lesson 3. The most important. In hardware, the prototype is the easiest 1%. The remaining 99% is a brutal, unglamorous war of attrition. Byton didn't fail because their idea was bad. They failed because they confused a brilliant feature with a viable business. In the end, Byton serves as a monument to a modern temptation, believing that if you can visualize the future beautifully enough, you can skip the messy work of building it. But the road doesn't care about your screen size. It only cares if you can actually make the journey. And that is a lesson every aspiring disruptor, in any industry, must never forget.